Yeah, pre-caching is coming. So there's a media manager application that takes a specifically formatted, it's usually account ID / media ID, and converts it into an HTTP URL for FreeSwitch to consume. And yeah, like I said, you can have it reference the local FreeSwitch file system if needed. Yeah. So yeah, anything that's recorded, call recordings, faxing, that kind of stuff, stored locally. This is one thing that still needs to be fixed from a Kazoo's maintenance perspective. That should be an ops task of yours if you're running your own install. But everything will get stored by default to the temp directory and never cleaned up. Now granted, it's all usually tiny files, so you can put thousands upon thousands of them in there. But it is something worth having a cron job that just goes in and deletes everything but the last 7 days, or whatever makes sense for what you're seeing. So just be aware of that. We all have disk checks anyway, right? This is a source of big complaints. HTTP cache has some pretty bad error reporting. Specifically, we cannot yet get the response code that it actually received from the URL it tried to put to. So Couch, for instance, we will get 409s back, which is a document conflict, which is usually a benign situation in this particular instance. But it's HTTP cache, because it's not a 200 or a 201. It treats it as an error. And just generic error. So we can't differentiate between 400 and 500 level errors. So you will see that a lot in the logs, that it looks like some error has occurred when really it's just Couch saying this has already been stored. Why are you bothering me with this again? And so mod HTTP cache doesn't report back to us well in that regard. So you'll see some errors along those lines. They're worth investigating initially just to get a feel for when the logs of FreeSwitch will have the actual response code that came back. So you can set up scripts to grep the logs to find those. But that's just something to be aware of.